Get your smart on with a new episode of Scorpion, CBS Monday, 10/9 Central.
A new season means a new challenge and the opportunity to go out and compete against the best in the country.
New hope, new beginnings.
New season means another opportunity.
A chance to fulfill your dreams and go to a Final Four.
This will be the Kansas Jayhawks season.
Kentucky basketball will battle.
Tennessee basketball will not be outworked.
This season, Michigan will be in the big dance.
Kentucky basketball will exceed expectations.
This season, Purdue will win the Big Ten.
Indiana will surprise everyone.
This season, Michigan State will surprise and excite.
This season, Texas will grow.
A new season means fun.
Maryland will have fun, as always in East Lansing, but we'll be working towards March.
Michigan State will win a national championship.
This season, Wisconsin will win a national championship.
The thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat in college basketball.
Zucker, and welcome to Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance. Let's set the lineup for you today. A huge day on CBS. In 30 minutes, you'll see Game 1 between Memphis and Oklahoma. Then at 3 Eastern, the annual CBS Sports Classic, a matchup of college basketball's legendary teams, Ohio State and number 2 UCLA, followed by 6th-ranked Kentucky, taking on number 7 North Carolina. Over on CBS Sports Network, number 16 South Carolina visits USF at 5:30 Eastern. It's the Auto Nation Cure Bowl featuring Arkansas State and UCF. Well, this is our year, everyone's saying, as we start on our 36th road to the Final Four, and in about 3.5 months, that trophy right there will be awarded to the 2017 Men's Division I basketball champions. Joining me, my studio buddies, Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis. So much will happen between now and then. So many great stories and amazing moments.
Tremendous moments on tap. But also, you think about it, Neon Newbies, a ton, bushel basket full of outstanding freshmen. I also think, as I've watched more high-octane offensive teams across college basketball, but I'm looking at Villanova having a strong chance to repeat as national champion.
Firing early, middle December. I'm proud of you, studio partner. It has been a star-studded, blue-blooded start to the college basketball season. The biggest brand names at the top of the rankings: Villanova, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA, and of course, Ohio State. Biggest brand names dominating college basketball. It's been a great start.
And we'll see a lot of them today. The Sooners taking the court today as well. While across campus, the football program is now under scrutiny following release of video from a 2014 incident when running back Joe Mixon violently punched a female student. That story continues, but back making the difficult transition to basketball. Clark, what should we expect from the Sooners on the court today against Memphis?
Well, a different team than we saw last year, but clearly they've got some nice pieces, and one of them is Christian James, a terrific wingman who gets it done at all levels. He can shoot the threes well over 50% from beyond the arc, can get to the rim as well, but has already been Dairy Queen twice in 9 games, which has limited his playing time. He's got to stay on the floor to be effective. When you talk 2010 in any level of basketball, that's unique territory, and that's where Dedrick Lawson is. Crafty skill, also averaging 4 assists per game. He is terrific and really is who Memphis plays its offense through.
How about that? 20 and 10. The only other guy's Evan Brad's at Belmont.
Well, he's actually 20 and 11, and there you see 50% shooting and can make the 3, but I like his ability to pass and his craftiness as a post player.
Different look for Oklahoma this year. Buddy, be gone. And that means that Jordan Woodard, as a 6-foot senior point guard, moves from being the 3rd guy or 4th guy on the scouting report to the top of the opponent's scouting report. Just scored a career-high 28 points in their loss to Wichita State. Sometimes a little loose with the pumpkin, as I say, turns the ball over a little bit too much. You see the numbers increase. That reflects his responsibility increase. He's got to run the team. He's got to score the most points. He's got to guard the opponent's point guard, so he's going to have his hands full today. And one of those guys he might be guarding on the wing is Markel Crawford, 6'5" junior swingman for Memphis. He's their 3rd leading scorer. Now, both these teams have lost 2 of the last 3 games, so a very important game that a guy like Markel Crawford should be able to shoot the ball. He did not shoot the ball well when they lost at home to Monmouth, blew that late lead. He's going to have to make some buckets today if that Memphis is going to prevail.
All right, indeed. The only two coaches who have taken 5 different schools to Final Fours featured in our first game. And a short time ago, Jim Spanarkel caught up with Memphis head coach Tubby Smith.
Coach, coming off a difficult loss earlier in the week against Monmouth, what do you expect your team to do to bounce back here today in Oklahoma?
Well, we're going to have to concentrate on slowing down Oklahoma. Certainly Monmouth was a very talented team. And we just, we didn't make the plays down the stretch. But we know Oklahoma extremely well, having coached in the Big 12 3 years against Lon Kruger's team. So we've got to find a way to, contain Woodard, because he's a very talented guard, can play multiple positions. And so and we just have to do the job on the board, something we struggled with the other night against Monmouth.
You have a special player in terms of Dedrick Lawson, in terms of how he plays this game. What makes him so special?
Well, his versatility. At 6'9", he can play inside, outside. He can shoot with range. And he's a very heady player. Can handle the ball, set people up. He's obviously getting better defensively. Had 8 blocks and tied a school record. So he's really starting to improve and starting to mature.
Well, thanks for your time and good luck today.
Thank you, Jim.
You bet. Okay, guys, back to you in the studio.
Tubby is one of 2 coaches to take 5 different programs to the tournament. I think he's going to be the first to take 6. I think he's got this Memphis team headed in the right direction. Big game today, but one of the truly outstanding coaches in the game, and has a talented team that revolves around Dedrick Lawson.
He and Lon Kruger have both taken multiple teams to the tournament. Kind of a pattern you're noticing. The difference is this is Tubby's first year at Memphis, and this is Kruger's 6th at Oklahoma. So I think Tubby doesn't have quite the culture and the pieces in place that he's going to need down the road.
Yeah, I was giving them both multiple trips to the Final Four. I was a little ahead of myself there. Years to come. When we return, we'll talk about the CBS Sports Classic, featuring 3 top 10 teams and some of the other big games going on today. Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance, is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance.
College and pro football fans, get free shipping today on all orders over $50 at cbssports.com/gift.
Welcome back. Coming up at 3 Eastern, it is the CBS Sports Classic. Ohio State clashes with undefeated UCLA. The Bruins knocked off then #1 Kentucky 2 weeks ago. Today, the Wildcats face another stiff challenge, taking on North Carolina in one of the biggest games of the regular season. As we take a look at the current AP Top 10, Villanova remaining #1. We're going to see #2 UCLA, #6 Kentucky, and #7 North Carolina on CBS later today. And the Bruins, they showed a couple weeks ago, Seth, they can put up a lot of points.
They sure can. They got a lot of really good players. Everyone knows about Lonzo Ball, their outstanding freshman point guard. People talk about him maybe being National Player of the Year. You could make the case that he's the 2nd best freshman on his team, because TJ Leaf, as I like to say, is really good at basketball. You're talking about a 6'10" guy. Look at that stroke, Clark Kellogg.
I love
Reminds me of a guy I used to know. 54% from behind the arc, averaging 18 points, 9.5 boards. Almost had a triple-double against UCSB. I love the inside-out game that he offers them. He's going to be tough to contain today.
Right. And how about your Buckeyes, Clark? They got the win over UConn, but they lost to Florida Atlantic, too.
Yeah, they've struggled a little bit, but Keita Bates-Diop has come back after missing 5 games with a sprained ankle, has played the last 2, and his offensive and defensive versatility is something the Buckeyes have to have. He's long, he can challenge and block shots, he gets out on the break, and to me, I'd love to see number 33 for the Buckeyes become a little more shot hungry. Expect his minutes to increase today, and he's got to be a huge factor if the Buckeyes
number 33.
UCLA. Yeah, that's a good number.
There it is. All right, now our late game, we have Kentucky, North Carolina. Seth, how good is Kentucky? Because they're talented as always, young as always.
First one to 100 wins. It's going to be a lot of fun, and if Kentucky is going to win, they will need another big game from Malik Monk, their outstanding freshman guard. Like John Wooden used to say, be at your best when your best is required. He's been a little spotty at times, but in the big games, he has really answered the bell. Went 7 for 11 from behind the arc against Michigan State, 2 for 4 when they lost to UCLA. And also, he's a big, strong finisher in that Derrick Rose mold. So in an up-and-down game with a lot of possessions, he's got a great chance to be the game's leading scorer.
Love his stroke.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fast pace with North Carolina, who's getting almost every shot they miss.
They get about half of their misses. And Kennedy Meeks is a guy that I really like. I like his footwork, his soft hands. He's only shooting 52% from the floor. That sounds okay, but for a guy who's getting these kinds of opportunities, either in post-ups or on second chance opportunity, that shooting percentage should be up at the 58-60 mark. I'd like to see him finish better, and he'll have to if they're going to be able to beat Kentucky today.
All right, give him some time. In addition to the 3 top 10 teams you're going to see in the CBS Sports Classic, 9th-ranked Indiana battles number 18 Butler. Kansas, Baylor, and Creighton are also in action tonight. So turning now to our Saturday spotlight in the game we just mentioned, Hoosier State bragging rights on the line when Butler and Indiana battle in the Crossroads Classic. It will be a clash of styles as the Bulldogs' stifling defense tries to slow down that Hoosiers' high-powered offense set.
Yeah, I hope Bobby Plump's going to be in the house for this one. The good news for Indiana, OG Anunoby, their outstanding sophomore forward, is back from that ankle injury. That will be bad news for Butler and Keelan Martin, their leading scorer. That's a very tough matchup. Anunoby's a great perimeter defender.
I've got good news for the Bulldogs. They're 10-3 at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
Ooh.
And they also are 25-0 under Chris Holtman. When they go 80 points or more, they'll need that. And the other thing I like about Butler, they don't turn it over. I see magic happening for the Bulldogs and them being able to score with Indiana because they're better offensively and pull off the mild upset.
I love it. Full of predictions already today. All right, also in Indianapolis.
What have we done with Clark?
Number 21 Notre Dame and number 15 Purdue. The Fighting Irish suffered their first loss of the season last week to number 1 Villanova. Meanwhile, the Boilers have yet to beat a top 25 team. Clark, is this the day, Mr. Predictor?
This is the day. You saw Matt Painter at the top of our show talk about Purdue winning the Big Ten. They've got the pieces to do that. Caleb Swanigan's the key guy for them having a great start to the season. I like Purdue in this one because of the inside presence of Haas and also Swanigan.
All right. Now, on a sad note, we lost a colleague and friend from our NCAA tournament family on Thursday when Craig Sager passed away after a long battle with leukemia.
One of the greatest reporters to ever roam the sidelines, Craig Sager had been a member of the Turner family for over 35 years. As his career evolved, he became known for his signature style and smooth banter with some of the NBA's biggest names. His first major contribution to the world of sport coincided with history when Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run. The kid at home plate with the trench coat and the tape recorder, that was a 22-year-old Craig Sager front and center, capturing the sounds that gave Aaron lifetime membership to Cooperstown.
They say the difficulty in life.
During Sager's tenure covering the NBA for Turner, he became as indelible a fixture as the household names of the game, who in turn developed special relationships of their own and were never afraid to turn the tables.
7 turnovers and 5 field goals. What was the key?
I think they were looking at your suit.
Let's talk about
this outfit you got on. You take this outfit home and you burn it. He gonna lay it up at the end. He just trying to dunk on me, Craig.
Oh, no.
He just trying to dunk on me. These guys didn't.
Beginning in 2011, Sager also became a member of the CBS Sports family through our joint coverage of the NCAA tournament. The sports community was stunned by the news of Sager's leukemia diagnosis in 2014. The outpouring of support was most evident when Craig Jr. temporarily filled his father's shoes in San Antonio during the playoffs.
You did a great job, but I'd rather have your dad standing here. That's what's great. We miss you. You've been an important part of all this for a long time.
Welcome back, baby. Well, thank you very much. I lay in the hospital for months hoping to do this again.
Now ask me a couple of inane questions.
We love you. Oh, we love you, man.
Returning to the sidelines at every opportunity, he continued his fight against leukemia as he worked, with positivity and passion, admired and adored by all around him. He is survived by his wife, Stacy, and 5 children.
Struggles and stories from the most grueling 24-hour event. A full afternoon of the world's toughest mudder. Christmas Day on CBS Sports.
Dedrick Lawson was named the AAC Player of the Week. The Memphis sophomore has had 25 double-doubles in 43 career games, including 8 this season. Well, just 8 days until Christmas and Hanukkah. Not a lot of time left to get that perfect holiday gift. But for many of today's coaches and players, that memory is already etched in stone with a little tinsel on it.
I got a Harley Davidson bicycle when I was 11, an orange one. My mom and dad, no, Santa got it. Santa got it.
Way back, first pair, the original Air Jordans. Red, white, and black.
My dad buying me a Rawlings baseball glove with Billy Williams' autograph on it, and that was my prized possession, and I still have it.
My sons bought me a He-Man figure because they knew that was something that was a void in my life.
First iPod Touch, I got it, and then that same day, I forgot to take it out of my pants pocket and washed it.
I always used to get Bulls or Bears or Cubs or Blackhawk tickets every year, and it was the best thing of being a kid in Chicago.
Well, I had a miserable one last year. We lost to Ohio State, and I said to Thad as I walked off, "Merry Christmas. You're going to have a good one. I'm going to have a bad one."
The best gift I received is my daughter. She's 6 months now. I think that's my pride and joy, best gift I can get so far.
I had asked for hockey sticks, and there was none. I looked over by the outside the chimney. There was hockey sticks, and my dad said, "Well, he must not have been able to fit it down the chimney," and it was best ever.
Hope Santa gave him a ladder, too. It's still up there. Clark, what's the best gift you ever got?
It was a snowy day, much like it is today here in New York. I was maybe 10 years old. My dad surprised me with an official Cleveland Browns NFL football. I gathered that puppy in, got that pigskin, and went right outside after I was allowed to and grabbed a couple of my buddies, and we had a quick game of football in the snow with an official NFL football.
Official in the snow.
Yes, sir.
ColecoVision. Am I dating myself? I remember ColecoVision. You think kids today would even bother with it? It was great at the time.
Oh.
A little different now.
Good luck next week.
It's Pong. We play Pong.
All right, in the spirit of giving, Seth and Clark are now going to give their holiday gifts to college basketball, whether people have been naughty or nice.
Well, one of us has been, I'll let you guess. By the way, it's really good. It's really good to be back at the Charles Barkley Memorial touchscreen. So I'm going to start with Sean Miller, Arizona. He's had a lot of luck this year. It's been all bad injuries, ineligibility right now without his sophomore point guard. I think they lose today at Texas A&M for Kentucky. What do you give the program that has everything? Better three-point shooters. I'm talking to you, Derek Willis. Got to splash them from outside. Kansas, how about making your free throws? 343rd in the country. Josh Jackson.
Good enough to win the Big 12 again.
Josh Jackson's got to make those if he wants to be on the court at the end of games. Markelle Fultz, maybe the top pick in the draft, maybe the best freshman in the country, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists per game, but they're on a 4-game losing streak. Going to be hard for them to get to the tournament. And Bob Knight lost a great opportunity to go back to Indiana when they honored the 1981 champs. Time to heal the wound.
That would be
go
awesome
back to
see.
Indiana. Let's put it all behind us and have a change of heart, if you will, gentlemen.
That would be nice. Clark.
All right. Health is wealth, guys. We all know that no matter what you're doing. And certainly these teams, Arizona, Illinois, Michigan State, would love to see their rosters fully healthy. And we get down here. How about more Indiana, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Purdue type matchups? Because that's what college basketball is about. The big teams going to the small schools, gyms, or cities.
Even if they lose.
And losing.
Yeah, would love to see that. And this, a shot clock for the instant replay review. Officials doing a great job, but I like to have just a tad more pressure on quicker decisions when able. Northwestern dancing lessons. Seth, you going to show us your little moves there?
That's all.
Okay, all right, there we go. And hopefully that could happen. We'll see. And then Villanova, a 5-man who scores in the post. Ochefu was outstanding there. Reynolds is terrific in terms of effort, rebounding, the little things. Would love to see him get a little more proficient in scoring.
Are you volunteering? Do you have eligibility left?
No, I don't have any.
They could use you.
Daryl Reynolds is going to grow into that spot and be more than sufficient there. And if that happens, they could, in fact, get it done again.
That's your team. All about Villanova, everybody. Don't let him pick somebody else next week. He's on record. Villanova's going to win.
We're recording this. All right, as we get set for tip-off, earlier, Jim Spinarkle caught up with Oklahoma head coach Lon Kruger.
Coach, coming off a great year last year, this year you have a relatively young team with some new roles and responsibilities. What are your expectations for this team?
It's an exciting group. Certainly everyone's roles are different from a year ago. Even those guys coming back have a different role than they had a year ago. But the young guys are enthusiastic. They want to get better. They know we got a long way to go. And we've got to go quickly to get ready for Big 12 play.
Let's talk a little bit about Memphis, if you would. They average 20 assists per game. Pretty good passing basketball team. What are your plans on disrupting that passing flow?
Very talented team. Of course, Buddy's team, there's always Tubby's teams are always going to play great, very disciplined, very sound, very fundamentally good. His teams, Tubby's teams are always great. So we've got to do a good job of, fundamentally doing a good job defensively and trying to limit the loss in guys. They've got very good players around them.
Well, as always, thanks for your time and good luck today.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay, guys, back to the studio.
He misses Buddy Hield so much that he thought that Tubby's first name was Buddy. And
Similar
I can't blame him for that because not only losing Buddy Hield, but also Isaiah Cousins and Ryan Spangler. So this is, in effect, a rebuilding year for Oklahoma. And he pointed out, Adam, that even the guys who were on the team last year have much different roles. So this is a brand new road for them to hoe.
Transformation. And that's part of what makes college basketball so fun. The turnover, how is it going to play out? We'll find out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, three former first-team Big 12 guys, though, to work on replacing. Nice. All right, when we return, scores and highlights and a few final thoughts on today's opening game between Memphis and Oklahoma, which is just about 16 minutes from now. You are watching Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance on CBS. Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance, is sponsored by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. All right, welcome back to Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance. Senior guard Jordan Woodard leading the Sooners in scoring, averaging just over 17 a game, tied a career high with 28 in last Saturday's loss to Wichita State. We go to the scoreboard now. Number 11, Louisville at home against Eastern Kentucky. Rick Pitino honored before the game for his 400th victory at Louisville, which came last week. A little trouble early here, though, Clark.
Quick start for Eastern Kentucky. Zach Charles gets it down low, punches it in. 7-zip, Eastern Kentucky. This kid is nice. Nick Mayo, big sophomore who can stroke it from deep. But then Louisville's Donovan Mitchell, one of the best athletes in college basketball, splashes the three. And Eastern Kentucky still in front.
Yeah, coached by former Louisville staffer Dan McHale, Rick Pitino, his mentor, so impressing him so far. All right, Arizona all banged up, Seth, on the road at A&M.
Yeah, kind of a semi-home game for A&M in Houston. You're going to see for Arizona, Kadeem Allen hitting the jump hook. This is a terrific freshman. A lot of folks don't know about him. Clark Laurie, Markkanen nailing the three. Arizona looking pretty good in the early going. You're going to see DJ Hogue in the lane, and one of those great freshmen for Arizona. They are down to 7 scholarship players. They are young, but they are fun. And at that point, right now, they are up by 4. We shall see.
Yeah, A&M's only 2 losses so far have come to Pac-12 teams, USC and UCLA, hoping to not have that trend continue. A classic Big East rivalry, Syracuse and Georgetown at the Dome, Clark.
And the Hoyas, that's Jagan Mosley getting the up and down transition. Hoop 4-3 early for the Hoyas. Then Andrew White, the transfer from Nebraska, knocks down the 3. And John Gillen, ball fake, spray that 3, young fella.
Syracuse up 4 right now, having already lost to UConn in another old Big East rivalry, paying tribute to Pearl Washington today. Minutes away now from the Tigers and Sooners. Guys, some final thoughts on our first game.
Well, I like Dedrick Lawson's ability to control the game from the inside. That could be, that's what I think will be the difference in the ball game. Memphis wins.
Inside, he's going to run up against Kadeem Latin, a great shot blocker, rebounder. That's why I think Oklahoma wins.
All right, split decision so far. Coming up, it is Memphis and Oklahoma. Rich Waltz and Jim Spanarkel will have the call after this message and a word from your local station.
It's all about the playoffs. The Steelers battle the Bengals. Then Tom Brady and the Patriots collide with Von Miller and the Broncos. A great doubleheader Sunday on CBS.